take care of the landscaping. He says, what I am contracted to do is backfill to the curb height, period. That means he's gonna backfill to the height of the curb, which means I still have about a 13-inch drop off. I said, what about seed? No seed, no landscaping, no fertilizer, I'm backfilling to the curb height.
You should make it so you can mow your lawn. That should be sloped, so you.
It has to, I mean,
Yeah.
the language in the contract
Exactly.
is that they will provide for a smooth transition with material in kind from the
Exactly.
property to the new road. I had, as you can see in that picture, a smooth grass down to the road. Now what I have is grass that goes to a 15-foot ledge drop off. And so, and what he asked for, to accept that money, he asked us, both Mr. Brown and I, to relinquish him from any responsibilities after we signed the contract. So what he did is he said, accept my verbal agreement that I have with the third party to do your property. I don't see the agreement, he won't describe the work. And then he asked me, and also sign here and absolve us from any responsibility to do it. And he wants to know why that is not something we'll accept.
Well, the good news is, because I just looked it up, we still hold $93,845.40 in escrow from him. We reduced it $32,000, but we still hold $90,000.
And I have quotes for what it would take to restore my driveway to 9% grade. In fact, Mr. Andres, who quoted him the correct concrete pour. He chose only to pay for half of it. He said, I'll split it with you. In other words, he's telling me it's going to take this to restore your property, I'll split it with
It's
you.
like, let's make a deal.
And what I'm saying is, I don't have the contract with you. The board has the contract with the approved plan that says the developer will restore a smooth transition of material in kind. And the board retained the escrow. I don't have a contract. I don't have the escrow. I don't have anything that I can say. I'm appealing to the board to exercise the contract that you made with him. And the reason you have a bond is for non-performance.
Mr. Chairman, if I can say something.
No, wait, I want to explain something that why, if you're hearing this for the first time, and just as a citizen, either here rather than going to the magistrate or something like that. The state law requires that if there's a development that goes on that's going to be a public road that the township will take over, there's certain standards that they have to meet. And the state law requires the township to collect 115% bond for assurances that the work will get done according to that contract. So we did collect 115%. We released it as parts of the project get done or completed and inspected. The township releases certain amounts based on our engineer's recommendation. As Ms. Fisher said, that they're holding $93,000 back. But he's here because we're the ones that are holding the money that could be released once that work is done. They're here to ask us, I think, that instead of giving the developer any more time, just for us to directly take the money out of the escrow account and pay to get that work done, and they don't have to worry about whether they believe him or trust him or not.
Well, I think that's part of it too, because, Ralph has not received the contract back from him, and I have. And I have the contract here, and again, what Ralph said, he wants us to release him of everything. I'm not gonna do that. I mean, nobody on this board, nobody in this room would sign this contract, I guarantee it. And I don't know
Before
why
all
these
work
people-
is complete, he's saying, I'll give you part of the money, trust me for the rest of it,
Right.
and release me from having to
Right.
meet him.
Now, he says in here that there's no, I'm gonna do provide a smooth transition. Well, he's not done that, and he's not going to do it, because
So
we
have
found
you
out.
heard from him since our last board of supervisors?
Yeah, I've gone, through this contract and through going back and forth, so I sent to Karen, who sent it to me,
Karen is.
right, his wife and vice president of the company, a list of concerns about this contract. She got back to me, but she only answered 2 or 3 of the questions, and it's like, I'm not gonna do this, I'm not gonna sign this contract.
I responded to my contract offer saying, it's not enough, I don't have a smooth, you're only giving me 1 slab, that's 19%, that's not enough, cars are gonna bottom out. I need a second slab, and I said, and secondly, you haven't said anything about landscaping. The response was, landscaping is gonna be taken by Stewart Construction once pipe is laid.
That's the same
I
answer I
called
got.
Joe Stewart, talked to him Saturday morning, said, what are you required to do? He's not even laying the line on my side of the road, my side's done.
So
It's
what
just
is,
waiting for
There's
landscaping.
no grass.
what is the cost to repair your property and repair your property
Well,
to?
here's, they're two separate issues.
Right.
I took they sent me a note that says, this contract says $1,200 to do the one slab. Well, one slab's gonna leave me at 18.75% drop. You're gonna bottom
What
line
were you before?
flat.
The picture.
There's one picture was there, Cindy, it's flat, okay? They dropped the road 18 inches and moved it,
Here,
I can,
so
right there.
I'm kinda stuck. All right.
What
Now,
they did, they took the road down 2 feet.
Well, okay, move this on,
I know,
did you
they
get a
were
price,
dust for that.
if you had your own guy do it?
yeah, well, here's where, I got the price from Rick. Okay?
I'm talking about your own guy, did you ever?
No, I didn't. So Brian says to me, look, if you do this, it's $1,200. I said, okay. So I called the contractor, who I know. He said, it's $1,200 if you and Ralph do it at the same time, which makes sense because he's moving all his equipment in and everything else. If I do it separately or he decides to go with somebody else, my price just went up. So there's again, we don't know, 2,500 is what I was told.
And, you know, I mean, we can working with this, I think. I mean, the big thing with Dave is that till they do the water line, he doesn't know what he's dealing with in the landscape.
See, that's
So
what
it's
I'm
hard to
stuck.
get a price. My price, my side of the work is done.
but
I
that
have
water line is
prices.
being run by the same developer.
Yes.
He's
And
contracted
it's in my
Stewart to do the
front yard.
water line.
Right, so that's an issue that you can come back to us with.
They'll have to come back and get his, but the line isn't, on my side is done. So all the work on my side, there's no more work. It's just that he's asking the same guy to do it. I can give you prices for my side.
So you know that we have $93,000. It sounds like we can't do anything on your property anyways until that water line is run, which
That's
isn't
correct.
going to be run. Will it be run now that it's?
Well-
They're supposed, I was told it was gonna start Saturday. It did. I was told it was gonna start on Halloween. It didn't. I was told it was gonna start in September. It hasn't.
The last one was Monday, and then now we got an indication it'll be after Thanksgiving. So it's, according to the developer, it's imminent.
We don't know what to believe
So at
anymore.
this point, we really can't give you anything?
No, and I'm not asking for anything maybe other than advice of which way to go and how to go about this, because I have other issues. They put 3 sewer lines in my backyard. So this is what my backyard looked like from my driveway down. This is after they dug it up, and now I got a hillside that's not on my property that's pushing the water all over into my property. So there's some other issues here that aren't being, Ralph's issue is one thing, mine's another thing, but they're all tied together, if you will.
Ralph,
I think,
is Gateway Engineering aware of this?
Yeah.
Dan,
he
is there on-
was here pleading their case the last meeting.
Can I be
And
honest
he was
though? and I'm not-
frankly quite disgusted with the whole
Yeah,
thing.
if
when
you
they
have
had
to
the meeting.
restore, your property has to be
That's all
restored
I've
to what it
asked.
was prior
In
to
all honesty though, and
construction.
I'm not trying to slam our engineer, this is not what was described.
I understand.
We know that.
We know.
That's why we
And he told us that, he says, the board is under a complete misrepresentation as it was presented. He said, I tried to present it right, but bottom line, he said, the board, I know, has a misunderstanding. That's why I had the pictures.
Yeah,
So
this
that you
is
could
not
see
at
it.
all what, the way it was described to us is there was a transition issue that needed to be fixed, a couple of slabs of concrete that needed to be poured. We were assured those slabs of concrete would be poured 5 business days after our next meeting, so we released them.
I have prices, and whether it's from his guy or my guy, and I'll take the lower of the two, that's fine. For both slabs in the front, I've got a price for my landscaping, and I got a price for the back driveway, and I offered to split the back driveway.
I offered, just so you know, this property line going down through here, it's about I don't know, from me to Ralph away. I said, look, let me buy that from you, and I'll maintain it, fix it, and do everything. No response, never. So he said, then you come up with the $1,200. Well, we got the $1,200 from Rich Andrews, which is fine, I want Rich to do my driveway, but I got nothing to go on.
Yeah, this is a mess.
And I've been in touch with Dan. Dan knows, he understands what's going on, he's in agreement. He said, Dave, you have every right to stand in front of the board and say what you're saying. So that's all I can do is
I offered a compromise on the back driveway. All I said, in the landscaping, I got a price to fix that. I knew he would do it, and he can do it less expensively, I'm more than happy.
Yeah.
But when he tells me, yeah, I've got someone to do it, and I go and ask that very person, and they tell me that's not what I was asked to do, and that follows the same narrative we've been getting now. I couldn't get in my back driveway for 12 weeks.
So
I
what's
couldn't
the
park my car
cost
in
to
my front.
repair your property?
For the front driveway, one slab is 1,600, that would give me the 18%. Two slabs will give me an 8.5% grade, which is acceptable.
Which is your.
Is it
That's
double,
my front,
right?
so that would be
then that's
double, yes,
32.
212, it would be 16 and 16 is 32. My back driveway was, because they moved the road 15 feet and needed a lot of extension, he offered half of that, which was 32 and 33, because one's bigger. I said I would accept half at 32. I'll split that with you. 32 for the back one, and I'll take care of the other one. Give me the two front ones and take care of my landscape.
So you're
for
asking
concrete,
for
it's
60?
32 and 32, 64. And the number I got, I can show you for the landscaping, was 34.50. I don't, if he wants a payment for it, I will take that and take care of the landscaping. I will be happy to give him an opportunity yet to fix the landscaping, but not the way the contractor he secured is telling me he's gonna fix it, that's not fixing it. So,
Are you
if you add
asking
another
for-
34 to that 62, you're at 90, you're, what, 98.50. But what I won't do is what he wanted. He wanted to give me only part of the concrete and wanted me to sign off on any obligation on the promise he was gonna do the landscaping. And I won't do that. I'm not, especially since the contractor's told me he's not doing what I need. The best way, the cleanest way out of it is to just give me the money for that. Let me handle it. Then, if it's not to my satisfaction, it's my problem. It's not his.
Here's the, this is from your
Yeah.
township
Yeah, I know the difference.
for the 8% grade, just in case somebody wanted it.
Here's the landscaping quote.
The other thing is, again, we're stuck because he's made so many promises that he just hasn't completed. He stood in my backyard and said, we're gonna recontour your whole backyard so that these sewer lines, you'll never, you see the pictures.
Mr. Chairman, should we release the funds or
Say again?
should we release the funds or?
No, we could be authorized to, he's not ready because he doesn't have a price yet on what it would take.
I will get
Cindy,
those.
I can't hear what you said. What did you say?
I'm sorry, I said, should we release the funds?
That's the one where he offered to have the
Release
street.
the funds of the
We can take it out of escrow and.
Yeah, his property needs restored. They disturbed his property and he's restored.
And I think we need to
Yes.
write a letter to Mr. Bryant and let him know
This is the one where I offered
if
to
he
split
didn't
it.
do what.
That's the total one I offered.
That always accompanies me taking money out of
Half of
escrow.
that.
Explanation of why.
What all would you need from me to,
Basically what, we already have the picture, so what he's providing, which is.
So you can get a price now because the grade is set. Once the water line goes through, it's gonna disturb the ground, but it's gonna be at least level. So
Right.
anybody can give you a price to restore, assuming it's back level again.
so what as a board do you need from me?
An estimate.
This estimate.
Okay, get the estimate. Now, you want me to keep the backyard estimated too?
Two slabs.
Now, the municipal authority is gonna take care of that. I'm sure that when the sewer lines go in, they collect
They're
escrow
in.
money for that.
They're in, they're done.
But they're responsible for restoration, and I'm sure, have you talked to the municipal authority yet?
Okay.
In order to get the funds released for that.
Have you talked to the municipal authority about the complaint
This
yet?
was my
Yes.
concrete.
And did they say they'll look into it?
Yes.
They will.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
They don't let anything go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with this.
So I'll get you the quotes once the water line's in.
So I'm happy with
Yes.
32.
Okay.
I'm happy with half of that 630.